For the second time in the last 3 seasons, we had a probable quarterback competition coming into spring camp, and I got to tell you, the things that occurred this spring have done nothing to change that.
You are Locked On Tar Heels, your daily podcast on the UNC Tar Heels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, what's up? It's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Welcome into the Locked On Tar Heels podcast, the only daily North Carolina show out there. I'm your host, Isaac Schade. Joining me is our guy, Searcy. It's great to have him coming to us from Houston, Texas on today's show. This man's all over the place, and you love it. You never know where he'll pop up. You're joining us at the place to get your Tar Heels content every single day. We want to thank you for making us your first listen or watch. A special shout out to all of you everydayers out there. And oh, by the way, if you're part of that Locked On Tar Heels Discord community, we're glad you are here as well. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. So you need to know what's going on today. We've got 2-episode Tuesday. That almost rhymes. 2 Tuesday. Let's get it. On the other show, we'll be talking some basketball stuff, continuing to keep our heads wrapped around the transfer portal and everything going on there. But on this show, we're going to be looking back at the spring game. I know a lot of people didn't get to see it or catch too much about it because it wasn't televised. Our man Searcy is here to unpack it for us. And so we got a couple different segments we're going to look at. As I said, we'll start with the quarterbacks, but then we're going to talk about the offensive line, which lost a lot last year. Are they going to be able to piece this thing together and find some help for those quarterbacks? And then thirdly, we're going to go to the other side of the ball, look at the D-line, what needs they have, and then back our way up to the secondary and find out what's going on there. So, Sirs, we talked, I guess it was last week before the spring game, and you would kind of put it, I kind of held a gun to your head and said, right now, today, if you had to make a pick between Conner Harrell and Max Johnson, who would it be? You made a pick. And my question now, after the spring game and after spring practice is done, you sticking with it?
Yeah. From what I've heard and what I've seen, Conner still seems like the most comfortable guy in the system. He's proven that he can handle the load. He's worked more with the receivers. Even though Max came in doing early January through the transfer portal, Conner has been there going on his third year with the guys. So they looked at him more. They knew he was more so close to Drake in the process of being the QB. So absolutely, I still see Conner. I mean, it's still early. You never know.
Sure.
But as of now, I would take Conner. I'll probably keep him on the string to see how he handles a full season instead of being prepared for a bowl game. Because you got to think, for the bowl game, they had like a little over 2 weeks to get ready for it. So he was able to prepare 2 weeks for an opponent. But now that it comes week to week, you don't know. Like, things change throughout the week, personnel change throughout the week because injuries occur. Guys may not be available week 2 that was available week 1. So you have to plan accordingly as you go into a ball game. But as of right now, absolutely, I still take Conner.
Okay, interesting. So, Searcy, at what level is as you talked about, Conner has the Carolina experience, while Max Johnson has the overall experience, having played at LSU and A&M and stuff. How, as we get to the games, as you were talking about, what factor will that have? As you know, they'll both have the summer, they'll both have fall camp. Does that give Max Johnson enough time to catch up? Or, does that experience eventually play out and win out? Or even still after all of that, you think we'll be seeing Conner Harrell take the first snap of the fall?
Got you. Right now it's more so who's more comfortable in the scheme that we're running. Because I mean, even though Max may have more in-game experience than Conner does, it's a different scheme.
Yeah.
So like I said, Conner going on his third year as a true freshman, and then he ended up redshirting his freshman year. So he had a redshirt freshman year. Now he's a redshirt sophomore. It's the same scheme for 3 straight years. Whereas Max, he's transferred a few times, so it's a whole new dynamic, whole new situation where it's a whole new different terminology. It's a whole new different like way of looking at the game because every offensive coordinator is different. Every scheme is different. Routes and formations may be the same, but
Yeah.
they are worded different in
Yeah.
different schemes. So Connor may have a better Connor's. I would say Connor's up on him a little bit because Connor has been in the scheme more than Max has. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that's why I still give Connor the edge. Because like I said, he's been with those guys for 2 years, and it's the same defensive coordinator for 2 years, and this is Max's third defensive coordinator in 5 years. So it's a little different. So I would, long as Connor's not out there like busting plays and making mistakes, putting the ball in harm's way, which I've heard that he hasn't. He's been a lot of throws he's made. He's put it in places where he gave his receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. I would say that's why I said I would go with Connor. Yeah, he's been the most consistent.
Thinking about what you do, Searcy, on the defensive side of the ball, like what would it you talk about Connor not making dumb decisions, basically not putting the ball where a guy like you is salivating, where it's like, oh, this dude is making dumb decisions, dumb throws all over the field. I'm about to jump this. I'm gonna get mine, do what I need to do on the defensive side of the ball. What is it that you would be looking for through your defensive eyes to say this is a dude that would make me as a defender worry?
Me personally, as a competitor, as a DB, if he's a guy that protects the ball, like I know certain situations where I know us as a defense, we're always trying to get the ball. I had a coach, Coach Everett Withers, when I was in college. He always said the ball is the issue for us on defense. Like we want the ball. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm practicing every day against a quarterback who rarely makes mistakes, he would rather throw the ball in the bushes or in the stands than to throw an interception. I want him as my quarterback because I know he's going to always try his best to put us in positions to win. I will feel like he would give us the best chance to win. If it's a guy that, yes, of course, I want to make plays on the ball. I want to be able to get interceptions and whatnot. But I would prefer for me as a DB to have to make a great play on the ball to get an interception than give me interception every day.
Yeah.
Like if I can make a read off you every day in practice that'll give me an interception, I don't want that guy as my quarterback. Because if I can read you and I'm practicing against you every day, then 9 times out of 10, the guy who's watching film on you can get a read on you as well.
Just as well.
So,
that's right.
Right. So if I'm able to trust you to, like, man, it's hard to get a pick off this guy. Like, he rarely makes mistakes, or he's going to throw the ball away before he give us a chance to make an interception. I want him as my quarterback. And if that's the case, if guys in the secondary are talking that way about Connor or Max, those type of guys you want to lead. Because if I'm seeing you every day and it's hard for me to get a read off you, I know guys who just prepare for you for 3 or 4 days, it's going to be hard for them to get a read off you as well. So, yeah, those are guys I would want leading my team as a quarterback.
Searcy, we've talked a lot about like who's going to be the guy that starts, who's going to be the guy that gets the first snap. But look, both of these guys, at least to me at this point, seem like they're very playable. Like whoever is not QB1 is going to be a very close QB2. And in a long football season, you know that you're going to need that second guy at some time or another, whether it's because of injury or a special package or whatever it is. Let's say it's Conner Harrell that wins out. How does Mac Brown, how does Chip Lindsey go about keeping Max Johnson engaged? Or if it's flipped and Max gets the starting nod, how do they go about keeping Conner Harrell engaged?
You got to keep both of them engaged because, like I said, I think I mentioned in the last show, like you're always one play away. So
that's right.
If your backup guy is not as prepared as your first guy, then you don't have a chance because anything can happen. And I'm not, like I said, I believe I said this in the last show, it's not just because of injuries. It could be a situation where if Connor's in and Connor scrambled and he took a hit and his chest strap malfunction or ripping the cleats, or he needs to go in the tent to be evaluated real quick, and we're still driving as an offense, then Max need to be able to come in and keep the drive going. Same thing, vice versa. So you need two guys to be engaged because like, it's a team sport, man. They don't take individuals to championships. They take the whole team. So everybody, if you first or second guy, or how Coach Brown put it, like 22 guys on offense, 22 guys on defense. That way you're always ready. You need that because, like I say, you never know. So it's good to have both guys totally engaged. Two guys that's totally like ready to go no matter what happens. Because I'm pretty sure if Max wins the job, they'll probably have a few packages, a few plays that involves Conner. Same thing if it's Conner that's get the starting job, they may have a few plays that involves Max. So keeping both guys engaged and ready is great for the team in the long run, especially in the long season.
Yeah, that's a good word. Now, look, here's the thing. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback if there's no offensive line protecting them and paving the way for the running backs. Lots to replace this year on the O-line. How's it shaping up? We're going to talk about that in just a second. Right after I tell you about Game Time, the weather is finally heating up, and that means it's time to go take in some MLB games. If you're smart like me and Searcy, that means you're going to watch the Braves. Great news! Game Time is now an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. One of my favorite features they've got is last-minute deals. Maybe you want to get in on tickets like for some of the NBA playoff games and you decide last minute to go. No worries. You can save up to 60% off buying last minute, not only for sports, but also concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Also, I often worry about my tickets being bogus, but with the Game Time ticket coverage, your purchase is covered by the most flexible customer service policy in the entire ticketing industry. I love that peace of mind. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, look, it's playoff time in the NBA and NHL. Searcy and I were literally just talking about, as we're talking, the Lakers are going against the Nuggets right now. But also, baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. You can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs and more. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. How about the NBA championship futures? We got the Celtics at plus 120, Nuggets plus 290, Thunder plus 1,300, Clippers 1,400, and Bucks have the fifth best odds at plus 1,600. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. All right, Searcy, we've just talked about the quarterbacks, and look, it's not much fun to just stand there and hold the ball and get sacked. So you need dudes to pave the way for the running backs. You need dudes to block for you. And for Carolina, coming into this season, they've lost Diego Pounds, Ed Monolus, Spencer Rolland, Corey Gaynor, William Barnes. All those dudes are gone.
Absolutely.
But they get back Jonathan Adorno. They get back Willie Lampkin. They get back Travion Green. Not to mention some dudes in the transfer portal. Howard Sampson from North Texas. This dude is a beast. He's a monster, sir.
Yeah, he's huge.
And Austin Blasky from UGA. So as you look at this line, as you see things and hear things from within the program, what are you looking at this year on the O-line?
Oh man, just the size, the sheer size. I saw the guy from North Texas. I was at practice. I was like, yo, who the hell is him? Like who? And then they had to remind me, like, yeah, that's one of the transfers from North Texas. I was like, dude, I knew he was huge from his pictures, but just seeing him in person, like him on one side and Travion Green on another is insane. They look like you have to get around trees to get to the quarterback. And
let me give you the numbers on those guys really quick, folks, so you can visualize what Searcy is talking about. Howard Sampson, 6'8", 325 on the roster. Travion Green, 6'7.5", 340. That's
those
the dudes we're talking about right now. Keep going.
Those are in the football world, that is huge. Basketball world, that may seem as average because everybody is 6'8" and 6, so that's why guys like basketball players like Steph Curry and all of them are rare because they're 6'2", 6'3". But to be 6'7" and 6'8" at tackle, you're considered a mountain in football. And to have those guys protected, not only your blind side but your front side as well. Me as a quarterback, one, I am extremely happy. and me as a running back, I'm licking my chops because I know like I should have gaps to run. You have guys like Willie Lampkin and Adorno who are like big guards who can move people with their size and their strength. Man, like I'm hearing this is one of the offensive line like we had back with Michael Carter and Levante Williams that was here. And I believe Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, Carolina had 2,000-yard running backs that season. So if we could have that type of production out of our O-line, not only is our running backs like Amari Hampton, and I think it's a new guy that transferred in, Barlow, who they said is looking
Darwin
good
Barlow
well.
from USC. Yeah.
Right. So we could possibly have 2,000-yard backs again, and then that'll be good because Amari Hampton won't have to take his necessary hits. He can split carries with Barlow, which that gives us a 1-2 punch, create one of the best tandems in the ACC. Man, we have a good chance to be special, man. And then whoever's at quarterback should feel real comfortable because he has those big hogs up front that can protect them. We call it the wall of Carolina because if they can hold up and they can hold up and keep our quarterback upright, man, we got some QBs that can be special. We definitely got running backs who can create opportunities. We got receivers on the outside that all they need is a chance with the ball in their hand and a chance to get the ball. So as long as those big boys up front eat, man, we have a chance, man. So I'm looking forward to it, especially after hearing the news about how good the O-line could possibly be. They was like I said, that the O-line hasn't looked. They said the O-line hasn't looked this good since we had the two backs, Michael Carter and Javonte Williams. Both those guys are in the NFL because of the lines they ran behind that year. And we have the type of caliber running back we have and the type of receivers we have. We have a chance to do something special this year. So I hope they continue to get better. I hope they can come together as a cohesive unit and all be on one accord because if your line is clicking and they can see stuff before it happens, to buy the quarterback as much time, it doesn't matter who's back there. Whoever's back there is going to look like $1 million because like they have the opportunity to make plays downfield and make plays throughout the game.
And I think that's such a critical point you just made there, Sirs, because when you've got a guy like Carolina's had under center for the past 5 seasons, like a Sam Howell, like a Drake Maye, because of how good they are, they can make up for some I'm going to use the word ineptitude because it's just the best word I'm finding now. And that sounds more harsh than I intended to, but they can overcome some of that. Whereas when you've got a stud offensive line, they can take somebody like a Drake Maye or a Sam Howell and make them look all the better. And as you said, then it's like, okay, so we don't need Conner Harrell or Max Johnson to be Drake Maye if we've got this line, at potentially as strong as it can be. They gotta be good, like strong game manager. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to keep our eyes on this O-line, how it pieces together, how all these guys come in together. We're talking about Travion Green. Can he be a monster in his sophomore year? We'll look at all of that. Now, Sirs, on the other side of the ball, while the exterior D-line seems to be in pretty good shape, the interior might need a little help. There's some work to be done inside. And what do things look like on the back end with the secondary? We're going to get to all of that in just a second. Right after I tell you about Monopoly Go. Look, we've all been there, either as a player or as a fan. It's halftime and the scoreboard's not looking so great. You're feeling low. You're not sure your team can pull out a win, but that's when you dig deep, you lift up your head, and you say to yourself, it's time to get back in the game, pull off some great bank heists, and take as much of my friends' money as I possibly can. That's right. The smash hit mobile game Monopoly Go lets you compete with your friends to get the most riches and the biggest empire. It's the Monopoly you love, but on your phone, anytime, with tons of new twists, including leaderboards to compare your progress to your buddies. There's so much to do. Play on countless dynamic Monopoly boards. Make your friends bankrupt by smashing their landmarks with a wrecking ball. Charge other players rent for your iconic properties. What a great take on the classic game. You can even work with your friends to crack open community chests and in tournaments to get extra rewards and climb the leaderboard. So get back out there, put on your game face, and download Monopoly Go now, free on the App Store or Google Play Store. We're going to switch from the offense over to the defense now. We're going to start up at the line as we were just talking about the offensive line. And look, Searcy, we feel pretty good about where the exterior, the outside of the defensive line is. You can talk about that some if you want to, but where I really want to focus is on the interior of the defensive line. So, Searcy, if you would, talk about why that's so critically important to shore up the interior. And then also just talk about some of the personnel and what Carolina might still be looking for in the transfer portal.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, we got good guys on the edge. Like, we got Des Evans coming back. We got Bo Atkins coming back. Kamen Rucker, all ACC player coming back. Even got some young guys like Tyler Thompson that's made some waves. Malachi Hambrick that's made some waves. But those are edge rushers. Those guys typically make noise on second and third down, passing situations and whatnot. But you need guys in the middle that can help plug the run. Like, I mean, especially with the loss of Said, we still got Power. We got Amari Campbell. We got some more young linebackers that can fly and get to the ball and run. But if we don't have big guys in front of them that can eat up blockers that allow them space to move and get to the ball, then we're in trouble, man. So like we love with the loss of Miles Murph and Fox, like those guys are getting ready for the draft that's coming up this week. We need some guys that can take over. We need some gap pluggers, man. I know like we have Travis Shaw. Hopefully Big Trav can make some noise this year, coming to his own. Because he's a load. So we need some more guys. Not just him. We need some more guys to play along with him. We need at least three in rotation. Because if we don't have that, the guys on the edge they'll become a non-factor. Teams can just sit back and just run the ball on us. Then we can't put them in third down situations that allows our edge rushers to get to the quarterback. And with us having four guys that could consistently put pressure on the quarterback. Like Kamen Rucker had like 8 sacks. Des Evans had 5. Bo Atkins had 4. I don't think Tyler Thompson played that much. It's his freshman year, but he's a guy that's also capable of getting to the quarterback. Unfortunately, Malachi tore his ACL last year, so he's coming back. But he's looked good. He's looked quick, fast, twitch off the edge. So we have at least 3-4 guys that can get to the quarterback, but it has to be in a passing situation. So, if we don't have guys that can take up gaps and take up 2 blockers that allow our running backs to run. I mean, not running backs, but our linebackers to run through there and make plays on a running back in the run game, then it could turn into a track meet all game with people just running the ball on us. So we may need. I'm not too sure on who we have coming in during the summer as freshmen. I think we just got a guy out of the transfer portal from Ole Miss who looks like a stud. So hopefully we can plug him in next to Big Travis, and they can be guys who can make impacts on the D line, because we need them. Even though the game has turned to more of a passing league, people still like to run the ball. And if they can run the ball and eat up clock, and with the type of offense we have, if they can run the ball and eat up clock and keep our offense off the field, then we're in trouble, because our offense is built to score points, keep momentum. Because we as an offense, we know we have an O-line and a running back that can control the ball game if need be. You know what I'm saying? But if teams are able to do the same thing against us, then it's a problem, because that means our offense is on the sideline waiting for that opportunity. And if we can't stop the run and get off the field when it's need to be, or to get in the passing situation that allows our edge rushers, the 4 or 5 great edge rushers we have, and we can't allow them to be able to make plays and be an impact in the game, then it's going to be a long game and a long season for us all in general.
Man, there's a lot there. And because when the offense does get opportunities in those scenarios, there's so much pressure on it, because it's like, shoot, how many more times are we going to get the ball? We got to go out and do something. And then you don't play your game, you don't play free, and all that piles up. Right. So, Searcy, let's get to the back end of the defense, because I know, man, that's your world. That's where you shine. And I know that's what you're watching. So as we come out on the back end of spring now, what are you seeing from this North Carolina secondary? How are things shaping up for what Coach Collins is going to have at his disposal?
For one, he's going to have at least 3-4 cornerbacks that can play at any time. I think Marcus Allen was out, but you have another elite corner on one side and Elijah Huzzy. Caleb, I know Caleb Carson's playing baseball right now, but he's a guy that's a lead candidate to be the starting nickel with his versatility and his toughness. You got Stinking Lane and Will Hardy at your safeties. And you got guys like Malcolm Ziegler who could play at safety as well. So you have guys that made the leap from year 1 to year 2. You have NFL caliber corners, and like I said, in Huzzy and Marcus Allen with their competitiveness and their size and their strength and whatnot. But you got to be able to make plays on the ball. You got to have guys that you're confident in when the ball's in the air. That, like I said, the ball is the issue. So you need guys that with the ability to take the ball away. We know we have one for sure in Huzzy. He's a guy we've seen throughout the whole season make plays on the ball. He sealed games for us. I believe he sealed the game for us against App. He definitely sealed the game for us against Duke last year. So I mean, he's already proven he was out there. If he wasn't ACC Defensive Player of the Week against Pitt, he should have been, because the plays he was making
whole series,
that whole game against Pitt, he had like 2-3 pass breakups. He had an interception, and he returned the punt for a touchdown. Like, he's that type of caliber player. And if you have 3-4 guys in the secondary like that, with the way the game is now, the sky is the limit. So the more guys that can line out there and play on defense and be able to put their hands on receivers and be able to change the outcome of a game by getting their hands on the ball, rather it be defense, rather it be special teams. Because you saw, like, again, Huzzy made an impact on both defense and special teams. So the more guys you have like that, man, it's only going to be great for the team. So with Coach Collins with that arsenal, I know Coach Warren is going to have those guys ready to go no matter what. Coach Warren is a military guy, so he's which I like guys like that. They're detailed. They may provide over information because they're so detailed, but the information they provide, it helps you in the long run. So I like that. Like, guys just got to take heed to that and be able to apply that to their game, man. And if they can do that and then be able to just play, man, I believe we have the type of players that can go out there and change games.
True. Well, look, there's encouragement there, folks, and we're hoping for a cleaner, more injury-free secondary this year to help really put stuff in the place it needs to be. So, more football to come as we go throughout the summer, and as it's late April right now, and it feels like late August is a long way away. The start of fall camp, early August, is a long way away. Quick. It's not. It's going to be here quick. Before we blink. It'll be here, and so just buckle up. We'll get you ready for it, and then once it's here, man, we're off and running. So, folks, just be ready, and we'll keep going all summer long. So, thank you so much, folks, for joining us. Big thanks to Searcy for hopping in with us. He's got a flight to catch on Tuesday morning. It's Monday night as we record right now, and so hopefully getting back to North Carolina really well, safe and sound there. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to the show on video and audio platforms, go ahead and do that. It's super easy to do. And makes sure that you're always locked in with us every single time. If you're not part of that Locked On Tar Heels Discord community, I don't know why, but you're missing out. It's free, and the link is in the show notes. Just click it and come join us. We'd love to have you. Want to remind you, it's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, but until then,
peace.